Kings. All right, let's check out some Kings then from Kaan. So Kaan, previously known as IBTB, was, I mean, we can just pull up his Wikipedia actually. Kaan Overwatch. So was previously with Wind and Rain. He was with Shoes Money Crew, and this is when I had first heard of him. I heard, hey, this guy is pretty good in EU, and we were trialing flex supports for phase 2 at the time, and folks were saying, hey, this guy's pretty good, you should pick him up, you should look into him. And we were trialing a couple really good NA flex supports, and Kaan, also known as IBTB at the time, was the best. His name was I'll Be the Best, and he was the best. He was actually phenomenal flex support. He was a little quiet, but I got to work with him for a couple months. Got to work with his Ana, got to work with his Moira. And the rest is history, basically. He went on, left off from phase 2 to who kind of disbanded, kind of fell apart because a lot of us got sniped. And we moved on to Young and Beautiful, performed exceptionally with Young and Beautiful for a long period of time, little period of time with Obey Alliance, and then now it's with Paris Eternal. So I got to work with Kaan. He's a great guy. He's a great player. He actually had a history of being a DPS player back in the day. He was very, very good at DPS. I think he has more hours on Genji than he does on any flex support hero, which is actually kind of funny. But he's very, very good flex support. I mean, he was arguably Europe's best player previous to this season. So we will see. Diplo. But yeah, and then with Dredro being picked up by Paris, it's like, hey, I've now coached 3 of Paris. I've coached Dawn for a period of time in phase 2, a long time. I've coached Kaan, and then I also coached Dredro. So that was pretty cool. I worked a little bit with Naga because I trialed with Ex Oblivione before I went with Sheer Cold, and I got to work with Ex Oblivione, Naga with Ex Oblivione at the time, so which was pretty cool. So let's look at some Kaan, y'all. Let's update our little thing here. Let's actually put what we're looking at here. Kaan, and then because it's Kaan, what do you guys think? Do you think we can bump him up to silver? I think we'll bump him up to silver. Normally Overwatch League is bronze, but because it's Kaan, you know, we'll give him a VOD Kaan review. Do you think Wub will make Owl? Hard to say. Recently he's been stuck with a little bit of an identity crisis, but I'm not sure if that's like forced on him by the team or what. So I'm not really sure. I haven't studied enough Wub gameplay to give a really good idea, though, to say for sure. Okay, so let's look at some Kaan gameplay. So Baptiste, we're looking at shift usage. We're going to be looking at lamp. We're going to be looking at weapon play, which I think is very important. The damage/heal balance. I've been very public with saying that I think Ultraviolet and Violet, coincidentally, are 2 of the best weapon play BAPs that I've seen on stream. Just from like checking into the streams occasionally, they're very fluid with their weapon play. So I'd like to see that from Kaan as well. Do you think ML7 is an Overwatch League tier support? No, but if he put in the work, he probably could be. I know that might be a little bit of a hot take, but ML7 is probably the best streamer player that there is. He played I think there was a tournament that he performed at not long ago, and I remember hearing from many EU contenders players that I respect that he was actually relatively pretty scary. I don't know about all of his heroes, but stuff like his Ana and BAP I think are pretty good. I don't know about his Zen. Well, Super's obviously already Overwatch League, but I think ML7 is actually unironically a good player. He's probably, like I said, the best non-competing streamer player that I know of any role. So with the Symmetra May Sigma, it's a little bit weird from Outlaws, but you can beat these guys by going super fast tempo and just squishing the Sigma, or squishing the Symmetra and the Sigma, or you can kind of play more open space and open angles. I honestly would prefer the former if you're really confident on the map, but Paris in general is just the type of team that's going to be pressing W. Now, to be clear, I'm going to kind of give you that TLDR, and then I'm going to focus more on Kaan's gameplay and not so much on the teams. There's your mid-fight shift. That was an awfully early lamp. That might be them pushing a lamp advantage there. But I would have preferred if that lamp was a little slower. A little later. And now, you know... Oh, Dawn somehow survives that? Unfortunate. So I think that lamp was a little early. But I also am not a huge fan of Paris's... the way they aggress and how they aggress there. But his shifts were good. The shifts are good. Hey, Toe. No idea how to pronounce your name, so you let me know if I'm butchering it. There's that weapon play we look for, right? Again, very early with a lamp. Is shift a selfish ability? To an extent, yes. So I've been debating with a lot of people about this recently. I talked with Ultraviolet about it. I talked with Connor, actually in chat. Connor sent me a long message about it. I've been talking with some people on Reddit about it, and I think it's obviously compositionally dependent. But I do think that the very least you should not shift at the start of a fight. It should be as the fight's progressing, and then you shift. So that way that there's less of a chance that you get punished for getting rushed down by a diva. You're making sure that you're getting the full duration of the HOT, even if it is weak, and you're min-maxing your amount of pressure. So I'm a little more flexible with shift usage. I'm not quite as dogmatic with it, but I still don't want to see it initially used. I still think that you're wasting a lot of the duration and the value if you do it that way. You notice he's not shifting that. That's very important. That'd be a big investment. He shifts in the air. Now you guys are probably thinking, why is he shifting now? Wouldn't he want to lamp first? The reason he's shifting now is because there's damage taken while he's in the air that might kill him before he hits the ground. Lamp, but he gets caught in it, so unfortunate. I mean, Flux Blizzard is really, really hard to counter if you don't have an ultimate already. Why did they not beat? Was it just because they didn't think that they'd get it with Blizzard? Yeah, they didn't get it in time. It would have been difficult either way. Like, maybe if Elivote dodges the ult, he could have survived with Blizzard, but it's difficult. I would not recommend that Pineapple Bro, but that shift was a little early. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Let's look at this again. Oh, he got one shot. Holy smokes. And that's not really Kaan's fault. He should not have even lamped this, I don't think, at all. So these lamps are very early. These lamps are very, very early. Now, that might have been a reflexive impact to try and stop Naga from dying, but nothing was stopping Naga from dying there. He had Ice Block. He just got one shot. So now I'm questioning some of these lamps. So we'll have to look at more of his BAP gameplay. Not bad since it's 50 damage on lift, exactly. So you get that lift damage, and then any follow-up, that's worth shifting. That shift was maybe a little early. Oh, he almost dies to Symmetra turrets here, and that lamp gets forced. Again, not a great shift. So for example, let me clarify what I mean by proper shift usage. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I would not shift now, I would not shift now, but if we continue to pursue through here, I would shift as we pursue. That's what I'm looking for. And then to clarify again, on a later point in time, I would not shift now, I would not shift now, definitely don't shift now, definitely don't shift now, shift, like, I would go in and shift now, right? Because you're in the middle of a brawl and there's damage actually being put out. I mean, obviously the Symmetra wall makes things awkward, but that's what I would do. Okay, good rotation. That shift is fine. We're gonna get lamp. Okay. Yeah, shift while things are actively happening, right. It's the best way to take pressure off of your team and min-max your own survivability. That shift is wasted. He messed up on healing Onigun. I would have liked to have seen a window there. That window's a little too close for my tastes. Given that they had Blizzard. And you notice there for a second that he's actually prioritizing damage over healing for a brief moment. I want you guys to look at this. So, you know, theoretically here, we could be, you know, okay, healing Onigod for the little chip damage, healing Ellie Vote for the little chip damage, but ultimately that shouldn't be lethal damage. Like, we shouldn't have Onigod necessarily die or Ellie Vote get demeched off of that. Instead, if we hit a triple headshot on Crimzo from this, even with Fallout, because of the window, that might kill Crimzo, right? So it's like the situation sometimes where you see is BAP, even without window. Sometimes you'll see a BAP not even heal and focus just on damage because there's a potential kill opportunity. So I think that's interesting. I mean, that shift could be, oh, I'm healing Ellie Vote, but it could also be I'm taking an aggressive position. I anticipate damage being taken. While we're doing this, y'all, I want you guys thinking of another map for us to look at, because we'll look at 2 BAP maps, and we'll look at some Zin if possible as well. This space control for that Sigma is really strong. So there's your TP advantage, right? Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, this is actually crazy. Now, this is Neptuno and Ellie Vote's responsibility. So I'm not sure what Neptuno is doing at this time, but Ellie Vote and Neptuno should absolutely be denying this immediately. Immediately, because this guy is putting a lot of pressure on Kaan right now. So Neptuno does get up there, but it takes a little while. What actually happens here? Sorry for getting distracted here. Oh, he boops. Yeah, so he takes a little too long to get up there than I would have liked, right? So that's a big deal. So that, probably gonna lamp that. Definitely lamp that. Oh yeah. A little late with that lamp maybe. And Paris has lost a lot of positioning here. Yeah. So BAP not looking super on this point. We'll keep watching though. Hydrate, thank you. I need to get more water in a second.
Initiating match.
What do you guys think so far? Okay, let's look at this. So we're gonna be running some Hanzo, and they're gonna be running McCree Sig on defense, which makes more sense, right? And you might be thinking, why not run Symmetra on defense because of the turret advantage and things like that. The problem with the Symmetra on defense is if you already have a good position for your McCree to play on, a high ground, that's even more advantageous than like turret defensive advantage. Whereas an attack, they would not have the space for the McCree to take angles, so that they'd rather use a TP and the close range force threat to be able to move around and create different opportunities. So it's kind of an interesting contrast in playstyles there. The early lamps are a team thing, potentially, yeah. Hey, thank you, Ellie. Appreciate it. The little silver symbol? Yeah, so normally when we review Overwatch League, it's bronze, but because I have higher expectations for Kaan, I'm bumping it up to silver. Maybe if we review, like, I don't know, Fearless Winston, we could even bump it up to gold. What do you guys think? Maybe it'll be gold Overwatch gameplay. Huge pick from Unigod. Again, you gotta see a little bit of the weapon play there. Now I'm curious to see when are we going to shift this. Notice he's not shifting it right now. Now Tudor should be in heals right now, but we're staying because you see how that little bit of chip damage got healed up anyway, and there was no active threat. See more of the damage heal, right? Gonna lamp that. The Sigma shield was definitely awkward. There's your advantage of Sigma play. If you guys do go for an aggressive pincer, notice the Sigma shield from Piggy, it's not actually blocking damage, it's splitting the heals from the Rhine. It makes things really awkward. It does indirectly block some damage, but it's not direct damage, so it's pretty clever. More damage pressure. This weapon play is looking pretty good. Maybe not violet level weapon play, but it's looking pretty good. How often do we VOD reviews? So we do individual and team VOD reviews. So we do individual VOD reviews at least twice a week. Been a little shaky recently because I've had some stream issues, but at least twice a week. And then we do a lot of pro analysis at least once a week. A little more often nowadays with Overwatch League being live, but we do a pretty good mixture of stuff. I'm a big fan of Kaan as well. So, still kind of not loving the windows here. Like the window placement is a little awkward. Like when you see a window that's this close to the enemy team, you know there's a mess up in the timing of like when we're windowing, because that's the second window we've had now that's completely being negated in value because they've just run us over. So you have to find the balance between, oh, they're just going to LOS it versus they're going to run it over. And right now we're kind of too far on the opposite end of the spectrum there. Yeah, the thing that he's definitely shooting the floor sometimes. That's something that even good BAPs do, because you get in like the automatic rhythm that shoot you heal, and you mess up your rhythm once, and all of a sudden you're healing the floor and or you're shooting your team and healing the enemy team. You know what I'm saying? It gets messy. Now the key thing is, can he avoid flux? He does. Oh, he does not. Because avoiding flux means you're able to, because avoiding flux is a couple of things. It means you're able to better heal your team in the air. You're able to pressure the enemy team. And then obviously that you can shift, like you just avoid the biggest source of threat that allows you to focus on just your weapon play. And he's just going to try and go for a trade here. Doesn't work out, unfortunate. Shooting your team, then healing the enemy. And you're going to notice a lot too, sometimes he's always prioritizing healing Elivote or anybody who's in a more aggressive position, right? You prioritize and supporting. It's the same thing as Harmony. If you're playing a Zenyatta or you're playing a Brigitte, you're pocketing the people that are in the more aggressive positions, right? So, you know, remember Elivote up here. Dawn was taking some damage, but Elivote's positioning up here was way more aggressive. Therefore, it provided more value and was more important to support. Same thing here. Even though it's not like a huge, aggressive, crazy position, my boy's popping a split. It's still worth prioritizing. So there's the rotate. They're going to fake rotate. Ooh, that's spooky with no lamp. We might see a window here. Probably not anymore with that last Doomfist kill. I'd like to see them keep the pressure up. It looks like that's what they're doing. Oof. Again, a situation where... And I think this might need to come down to doing a better job tracking ultimates. So remember when we talked about this in our, I think it was the San Francisco Shock scouting report, where San Francisco Shock was positioning really aggressive, but they were at the beat and May disadvantage, right? In other words, they did not have the better brawl ultimates, and then they got run over. Window kind of needs to be the same kind of a thing. If you track, Alindio, thanks for the sub, appreciate it. Is this stream going to be a long one? It should be, as long as my internet holds up. Yes. It's one of the situations where they have beat, you have window. You need to go, oh, they have beat, they can run us over, so I need to position my window a little more defensive, right? So I know we want to push the advantage here, but this window really should not be here. It should be right here, just several meters back, just so that it's a lot harder for them to push through. Now, if they didn't have beat, if they didn't have May ult, or I guess Doom ult would be another one, to a lesser extent Flux, then we could position it more aggressively with a window. But because they have ultimates that can literally run over our window, I'm not a fan. We've seen this a couple times with windows that end up get shut down by aggression with aggressive enemy ultimates. Does that make sense, chat? If it's a high noon or a Hanzo ult, or a window, really high noon and window are the big two. You can be more passive and those are more spammy ultimates. Brawly ultimates like Flux, Shatter, Blizzard, Beat can be way more up close. So if you are playing BAP and you know that they have window or high noon, you can be more aggressive with your window because those are more spammy ultimates that you have to play into. But if you have window and they have beat or they have Blizzard or even something like a Flux, you have to kind of keep your distance a little more because you can have your ultimate and your life negated just like that. Hey, Little Link, good to see you. Yeah, this could be a team thing for sure. But Kaan should take responsibility for his ultimate as well. But see, like stuff like this, like he's going to get value out of window and he ends up getting shattered, right? Now, normally would Kaan play this close? Probably not. He might even play a little bit of high ground here. But I mean, they don't have a McCree, so there's not really a real drawback to it. But you can see the problem with the aggression of the window. Nobody has found value out of this window so far. Still turnable, because pushing through this choke is really tough for defenders. And they did just waste window. So we'll probably see a high noon here. There's the weapon play, right? You see it? There's that mid-fight shift, right? Maybe a tad early, but he had taken some damage. But now the shift is more likely to get value because it's timed a little better than what we've been seeing from some Overwatch League Vaps. And you can even see with the Kaan's positioning here. You're like, why is he positioned so close? Well, there's no Blizzard, right? There's no beat, there's no shatter, there's no flux. He can get away with more greedy positioning here because of that. So he can get a little bit more aggressive with his weapon play. Very important he didn't lamp that. Now this is something that I scouted with London with Reaper, and Reaper was not doing as well. He missed a couple times. A lot of lamps and ice blocks. You do not lamp ice block. If it's a Mei, it's your job to track Ice Block. This happened with double shield meta with Orisa Sigma and BAP. You needed to track Fortify and Sigma Shift and lamp only when those were not being used or if your Sigma got rocked or something like that. You can't stack lamp and Ice Block. You want your Mei to use Ice Block first and then you can lamp afterwards. Very important. What about Doom though? Well, with Doom for sure, you need to be more careful, but Doom is not about like... When I mean more aggressive, I mean more focused on actually shooting enemy teammates. Like less about, like he still needs to be playing around cover. He still is going to position in a location where he can exo boots jump to high ground into safety, but he can be less concerned about, you know, getting run over by other means. And he's not greeting lamp anymore. He sees something critical, I'm just going to lamp. Fight's won. Let's just make sure we don't lose anybody in the process. Is Diva Bomb flexible? Yes. Diva Bomb is flexible in the fact that you can use it as a spam ultimate to engage from a distance. You have to be careful with it because if you get too close to the enemy team, they can run you over when you Diva Bomb because you don't have Matrix and you have a baby Diva. Or you can use it as a Brawl ultimate. Well, actually, chat, I'm not going to spoil. How do you use Diva Bomb as a Brawl ultimate in this meta? It's not how you use it in Ranked. Because if you use it like you do in Ranked... like bomb in, let's go in, let's bow in with my bomb, then you're gonna get massacred. It's not gonna work. So how can you use it as a Brawl ultimate? Let's see if you guys can figure this out. I've talked about it before, but it's a little bit weird. And by a Brawl ultimate, I mean not engaging necessarily with it from a distance. So how else do you use it? So controlling the high ground here, that shift is a little early. Really well done. They're gonna lose Oni God, but that's okay. Nicely done by Paris. So yeah, I was gonna say, this is the... Whoa! No! That's super unfortunate. That's a really great play by Crimzo. It's not wrong of Kaan to take that. He had shift. This is a safer positioning from pincers from this direction. And if he needs to get shot, he can drop. But Crimzo had window, and there you go. But they could still win this, maybe? They need to kill that Rhine. They're not going to. That's unfortunate. That's not necessarily unlucky, but that's a big tall order. Okay, use it for a remake. Right, exactly. So basically, the way to use it as a Brawl ultimate is you use it so that you go aggressively and your Diva ends. Like your Diva goes hard backline, Matrix BAP, Matrix Cree, micro missiles, smash into them, use your boosters, use all of your HP, just get in the middle of the enemy team and just absorb, like just your damage sponge. like way more aggressive than you normally would, at the same time as your Ryan mate hard push, and then you bomb to remech. And hopefully, because you'll be your rest of your team is aggressing, you'll be supported for a remech. It's weird, but in a way that's often a safer use of Diva Bomb than engaging with it from up close, because they can go and kill your backline. So you guys you go in, you trade all of your HP, all of your resources, you bomb, you remech, and you do it again. Almost like a Doomfist ultimate. Obviously, it's still risky, but it's a way to utilize it as a brawl ultimate. Is have your Diva play hyper aggressive and the team play aggressive with her. Can't they kill you when they remech? Yes, they can, which is why you need your Ryan, May, Bap, Lucio, McCree, everybody else aggressing hard as well. And a lot of the times the Diva will aggress and then finish her aggression near a corner or even near high ground where she can get, remech from a safe location. That's something that you should always do, is don't just remech in the middle of the enemy team. Try and get demeched in a location that's aggressive but has some defensive capabilities as well. But you absolutely need equal pressure from your team. Diva is a difficult hero to play. Shifting on entry, I think the shift is too early. I would like shift now. I would like shift now. And this is, again, I really think a mistake from Paris. Now, I want you guys to look at this and tell me why this is a mistake from Paris. Let's look at this from the raw ultimate game standpoint. Forget the map control and angles and clearing high ground and, oh no, they're going to lose to happy flank. Yeah. Okay, let's just screw that. Ignore that. From an ult standpoint, what we've already talked about today, why do you think this is a mistake from Kaan? And maybe just from Paris in general? Using window as a brawl. Right. Now, is window as a brawl bad? No, but it's bad in this scenario. Why? So don't take that you should never window from up close. That's load of horse maneuver. Absolutely. But what's the problem with it now? Right, they have beat. Exactly. And shatter to a lesser extent as well. So I don't imagine that this window is going to get a lot of value. I might be wrong. But the majority, the majority of the time it's not going to work out so well. And there's the beat and they get run over. And they'll trade, but it shouldn't matter. Oh, wow. They might clutch this. They might. It's going to be really hairy. Oh, huge lamp from Kaan. Let's look at this lamp. Coming from spawn. He sees a tracer. Nice. This is winnable. And there's Dawn on the ball. Dawn's a pretty solid mechanical ball. Woo! This is really dangerous for Paris, though, because so much is being committed here. And if they don't win this... Oh, no. Neptuno gets frozen. Does he get the beat off, though? Oh, Neptuno! Neptuno! Come on, man! That's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. But yeah, you can see the problem there, how like they went up close, but then they just beat it and they got run over. And this is something that you could take to your ranked games as well. Like, I don't know how actively you guys ult track and things like that, but for example, if you're playing a composition and they've got something like Earth Shatter or a Blizzard or, Graviton, you don't want to be up in their grill, because if you're playing for an aggressive bongo and they've got Grav Pulse, you're probably gonna lose. You should bongo more at distance, where it's harder to get value to the Grav Pulse.
Something hair, something off angles and pins.
Shut up, Pineapple Bro. I think it's the sub, mate. So you can kind of see how different ultimates have different signatures. You can bongo aggressively. You can window aggressively. But Grav is only good in close ranges, really. So why play to the Grav strengths? Just play to your strengths. If the enemy team has Nano Blade, play further distance, play split, window from split. Don't run in there and give them a fat Nano Blade. You can kind of adjust it based off of what you're playing. Hey, there you go, Ellie. All right. So again, I'm not super happy with the shift time there. Could have been a little later, but it ends up working out nicely. It wasn't a feed, but it could have been a little cleaner. Nice little quick rotate. and this level of aggression, right? This aggressive window is not going to be punished because there's no beat, there's no blizzard, there's no doom ult, there's no pulse. Well, the pulse is not as big of an issue, but yeah. Unfortunate. It gets drop punched. That should be fine though. All right, Kaan on a. Ah! Unfortunate. So watch a little more. I promised I wouldn't talk too much about macro, and I'm not too much. I'm not reviewing Paris too much. I'm focusing a little more on like bigger concepts, but I'm not doing perfectly. Can Mines stop window? Absolutely. That's another one to consider. Mines is an ultimate that can absolutely shut down window. Now Mines is a little trickier though, because Ball's so mobile, he can really mine a far away window or a close up window. So, but it was harder for the Ball to shut down your window if you are smartly positioned with it. But yeah, that's an example of another Brawl ultimate that can shut down a spam ultimate. A really good game on and Volskaya. All right, well let's look at a little more BAP after this, and then we'll move on to Volskaya because I would love to see some Ana play. Pro Ana play is a lot of fun to watch. There's the shift. Look at that weapon play. There's a TP to Sigma to high ground. There's the aggression. There's the mid-fight shift. Understandable. Elivote's gonna get demeched. Oh, wait, no. Woo! She gets out. Or he gets out. The diva gets out. A little bit early in the shift there. That window is not so good. Winnable chat. Winnable chat. Oh, I got too close to that shift. Are they going to lose to that? Oh, no. They're all right. I respect the aggression. Oh, that's no good. So, wait, what happens in Neptuno? He's a little early with the beat, maybe. But I would have loved to chain that a little better. That lamp should be right, should still be up right now. Unfortunate. Okay, let's look at one more BAP map. BAP map. Do you guys have any requests? Let's look at one more BAP map before we move on to Ana. Do you know what happens in this match or no? I mean, that was the last map right there, so I assume they lost. I need a BAP map. One more BAP map from Kaan. What do you guys think? Paris versus... Let's look at a different matchup. Let's look at a different team. So let's go Paris versus... How about Paris versus Eternal? Or... Paris versus Mayhem? Let's do that one. How do you install this? It's just in your Blizzard client. You can click, you know, I can select different regions and different clients. Same thing. Paris versus Eternal, yeah. Let's do some Li Jing.
Ready for battle.
How do Paris do here? I want to see one where Paris does maybe a little better. Eternal. Oh, we just did that one. Maybe Anubis. They must play Brawl in Anubis.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, let's check. Let's oh shoot, this is another short one. Oh, Paris wins this one. Oh, this will be fun. No, it's not raw BAP. Shoot, chat. I'm sorry. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna pick one and go with it. We're not gonna mess around. Eternal vs. Outlaws, Savannah. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's go. Holy cow. We won't be able to, I don't know if we'll watch all of this because this is a long map. That's a good mid-fight shift. That's what we're looking for. There's the lamp. Oh, it's a little late. All right. Unfortunate. This was a fun map. Sick. I didn't see this match. Shift on rotation just to be safe. Oh, bless. Oh, he's gonna die. So he really needed to complete his rotation here. So you're gonna notice something. Paris is able to angle their pressure and catch Kaan. I mean, catching Kaan with that fire strike is also really big. But I think with Kaan, I would have liked to see him lean back a little bit more this way or further his rotation all the way to here, or to this cover a little faster. But yeah, he gets caught with that fire strike there. Really scary stuff. That's not going to bode well. Oh, maybe. Oh, he doesn't get the shatter. Oh no, and they get all the TP. Oh no. This Symmetra shenanigans is absolutely tilting, man. This is crazy. A little early to shift, maybe. Good that he's maintained his distance. Here comes Lamp. 3, 2, 1. Lamp. Oh, it's blocked. Oh gosh, that was close. We might shift this. Maybe just to min-max that healing. Yeah. So you'll sometimes see this where Baps under a lot of stress will shift a teammate even if they are full HP. It's only 75 healing, but you're like, I mean, that's a click and a half of healing, so maybe it's worth using here. So, and you know, maybe it's mid-fight, maybe I also take some damage here. So like, this is the kind of shifts where it's understandable, right? You want to avoid them when you can, but it's a little more understandable. But then they don't aim for the damage. Yeah, I mean, it's messy, you know. Oh dear, the beat's late. And you're gonna know something else, chat, too, is that he's pretty consistently spamming these little jumps and little crouches, right? Now you have to be careful with this with the enemy BAP if the enemy BAP is any good, but especially with the fact that they don't have a McCree, there's a little bit less drawback to jumping around a little bit. And also BAPs are pretty, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure BAPs while they're jumping, their 80-80 strafing is actually pretty decent. So they can be a little tricky to shoot. He's gonna get that lamp, and there you go. So phenomenal hold from Eternal, and I think it's worth noting just where the Outlaws push stymied, like where it's stalled rather, and it's right around here, right where the open space where Symmetra has a little bit more of a struggle and where McCree has a little bit of an easier time. Would you rather see shoot, heal, but miss most of the shots, or just shoot, heal, and take a little bit of time to land shots? Depends on the circumstances. If you're just shooting shield, like really early in these pre-fights, then I think it would make more sense for you to go shoot, heal, because you're not going to be shooting anything but shield anyway most of the time, and that doesn't take any aim. Mid-fight, I think it would be fair to transition more to shoot, heal, weave, because yes, you're going to be min-maxing your damage a little less, but you're also going to be actually landing the shots that matter rather than just spamming open air, kind of like what Lucer was saying. Like in this point in time, this is where you would definitely shoot, heal, because you're just going to be aiming it down white. You know, you don't really have a specific target you're aiming it for, but as the fight evolves, shoot, heal. A little early with a shift, maybe. Guess be careful of this positioning there. It's a really nice pin from Don. How the heck is KSF over here? And again, you see there, no healing between those shots. He's got somebody to kill. That's the priority. And again, do you notice the shift there? The lamp there? Now, I'm hoping he can get it back. He should be able to get it back, but he's not greeding it, right? If you already have an advantage and you know you win the fight, don't greed your lamp just to try and save it, because you're going to get it back in 23 seconds anyway, by the time the next fight starts. So you see the fight's now starting and we have lamp, right? Now, what do you guys think about this window? What do you guys think about this window? Because I think there's a good and a bad thing about this window. There's a good and a bad thing. It's good in terms of the distance between himself and the enemy team, considering there's the fact that they have Blizzard, right? But why would you say it's bad in a way? It's good in terms of the distance, but it's bad in terms of the location. Why? In my opinion. Well, you can't always wait for a wall. Forcing wall with window is okay, because it means that your tanks are more free to play around the lack of wall. But what's the problem? I want you guys to look at Paris's setup right before the window. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, so let's just stop right there. What do you guys see it's wrong? Let me simplify this for you. All of Paris Eternal is on your screen, right? Right, so this doesn't look like Paris is set up for this window. Because if you're set for this type of window, I would like, you know, my McCree and Diva to be up here with a Lucio, right? To go, oh my gosh, all the attention, baited, right? And then these guys are able to pop off. Or maybe even have your Ryan all the way up here with the Mei, right? And then your BAP is kind of positioned to push this angle here. Because what it looks like is Paris is set up to fight here, right? But the window is as if they're fighting here. You don't have to overthink the map control concept. The map control concept is we're set up to fight here. Look at the Diva's positioning, look at the McCree's positioning, right? We're set up to fight here. But if so, then why is the window here, right? They're all the way over here. We're not set up to fight them over here. So why are we windowing over there? So what Paris needs to do is one of two things. Either one, if we're going to window here, we need Paris to be set up for the location of where the window gets value, which is right here, right? That's where the spam angle is. Or you would have wait on the window and do it here, where Paris is actually set up to fight around it. You kind of see what I'm saying? So the window doesn't actually match their kill box. Oh, kill box. Would you guys like if we did our kill box video today on stream? Be like 20 minutes. Maybe we'll talk more about this concept later. I already have some examples prepared. We could transition to it right after our Kaan review. But you can see how that window didn't do anything. And it had very little, it had nothing, listen to me, read my lips. It wasn't too early. It was too early for the setup. There's no such thing as too early window. You could window them in their spawn out here and it'd be fine, but you'd want your team set up around it. There's no such thing as too early. There is such a thing as a bad setup though. That's a very important distinction. That's really, really, really unfortunate. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. You never expect the Mei sniper. That's just crazy. He gets two-tapped. Kree, then Mei, instantly. And then they commit with the Blizzard, but that's not a good decision. Thankfully, the Outlaws also commit Blizzard, but that was not the play from Eternal. Two sloppy picks, and then committing Shatter and Blizzard. Read my lips. Screw you guys. It's a joke about, it's an old like 90s joke about the first President Bush. He says, read my lips, no new taxes, and then proceeded to raise taxes. It was a joke that but I'm not sure that that's a good joke to make though, because my point is that I'm speaking the truth, but President Bush was not speaking the truth. So it doesn't make any sense for me to use that. But why? Wait, did they window? I might have missed it, chat. Hang on, let me see this again. So we've gotten that window was okay. So you're thinking like, why would you lamp that? Not window, lamp. Why would you lamp that? I think the lamp could have been a little more forward, but because there's no Mei wall, right? So Nagash is not going to be able to block off that lamp in time. So a little unfortunate for sure, but understandable. Wait, what? How did he not die? Was he in lamp? Holy crap. Lamp saved his life, chat. Holy smokes. Yeah, that he should not have been hit by Fire Strike there. That's unfortunate. Can you talk about the Nike usage? Nike usage? Are you auto-correcting or what, Chief? Well, chat, you put them on your feet and then you just roll. A little bit. That's probably the part of his kit that I'm the least confident with. It's something that you can be permanently charging to adjust your angle and to move around, and it could allow you to take like really, really good aggressive and good high ground positions. For example, if I'm playing Zen and we're fighting here, I don't really want to play here. I would like to play up here, and I have a great corner, great cover here, and I have a great angle, right? But I can't get there. BAP can. So if I'm BAP, there's no reason for me to be positioned here just because, oh, I have no other place to position. You can position anywhere around you that has any form of cover that you can jump to. So that's one advantage. There's also situations where you can be permanently charging your exit boots to anticipate shatters, to avoid Doomfist engages. There's a lot of little micro like that. But I'm a little less experienced with that. That's one of the like so micro aspects that I'm like, eh. But like you see, like right there, he peeks a little bit to get some extra spam damage to build up the last little bit of his ultimate, and he does so relatively safely as long as he's hugging the wall. Like right here. A little bit of extra pressure on entry at very little expense. Now, again, I question this window. And this has happened enough that I have to kind of give Kaan a little bit of the bad credit here. Hello, Kron. What's the problem with this window, chat? You guys should have figured this out by now. You guys are smart enough. Now, I get that Paris is kind of in a situation where they might want to think that they have to clutch this, but I don't think that's the case, really. And if you want to clutch, you want to clutch at the distance that you should be clutching at. In other words, if you're going to go for a stupid play, go for a stupid play at the right distance here. They have Beat, they have Blizzard, they have Shatter. I don't like this. I don't think this will go well. Right, so like nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Like, we're lucky that nothing happened, to be perfectly honest with you. And now, well, I mean, to be honest, though, we're not that lucky because something did happen. Very important happened. We got our lamp forced. So, and now we have no lamp. Problematic. Yeah, the angle of the window could have been better as well, so. So we'll you know what we'll do, chat, is we'll finish this defense, I say, and then we'll go from there. There's the shift. Probably gonna lamp that early. Oh, he doesn't get a chance to lamp it. The reason why you have to lamp this drop so early is because the fact that Dawn can't shield really anything. In other words, once Dawn drops, he's going to get Mei frozen from behind, spammed from up front / swung on from up front, and then spam from this angle here. He can't shield anything. If Outlaws are properly positioned to catch with their Ryan Mei positioning and then their high ground off angle, like Dawn's just going to melt or get frozen almost instantly. So he needs lamp now, right? And you're thinking, well, they're going to lose this fight anyway. Yes, but for min-maxing your stall, right? If you're gonna die, like right now it's overtime, so it doesn't really matter, but you still want to be stalling. Okay. Nice little weapon play there. Shift probably wasn't necessary there. Probably could have waited. And we'd want to see shift right now, right? So now we've got a second to go. Big eat from Piggy. We're gonna lamp a little early. I think that lamp could have been saved for sure. Because he didn't even team out and use anything, right? So he sees critical, and I think that critical was on Naga, maybe? I'm not sure who that critical was on for, but you hate to see it. But yeah, there's the strength of the Sigma. If you can't close the distance and get inside his grill, then he's gonna annihilate you. And they tried to close the distance there, and it just didn't work out so well. Probably shouldn't even lamp this. Yeah, so you notice that the people that got caught, they're too far away. So there's no follow-up damage. And they also have 550 HP and also ice block. So there's no reason to lamp that whatsoever. Good discipline from Kaan. The Blizzard's also... Ooh. Again, we see stacked lamp and beat. I would have liked the communication there to be cleaner between Neptuno and Kaan, because you might have to use both, but you'd like to stagger them. In other words, you'd like to lamp later or lamp earlier and then have beat either come before or after. You're using both at the same time, even if both are necessary, is not optimal, right? it's like you had a terrible surgery and you've got 2 doses of morphine for your pain afterwards, right? That's what morphine's for, right? I'm a scrub, okay? You don't want to take both doses of morphine after you've had your wisdom teeth out instantly. Not only is that dangerous, okay, so the analogy isn't perfect, but it also means that after like however long morphine lasts, 4 or 5 hours, well, now you no longer have any painkiller at all. Stacking that doesn't increase the duration. Stacking it, it's still going to get digested and flushed through, and then it's done. You need to use 1 morphine, starts to wear off, and then next morphine, so that you have a long duration of pain-free. Okay, same kind of a situation here. Your Ryan's under a lot of pressure right now. Stacking lamp and beat doesn't give you any benefit, right? Staggering them, lamp, okay, the lamp is almost broken, then beat, or beat, okay, the beat HP is down, then I lamp. That will save your Ryan's HP. I don't know anything about morphine, chat. I'm literally just making this up as I go. And that's it right there. Okay. So I think, you know, Kaan's BAP looks pretty good. Looks okay. It's not a throw for sure, but I think could definitely be cleaner with some of the lamp usages. Shift could be a little cleaner as well. And the windows for sure were not as good as I would have liked as well. What do you guys think? Anything else? What do you guys think? Also, tell me what map I should be going for next. What do you guys think so far? Full sky time. How's Fielder's BAP? Did we see a lot of I don't think we saw any Fielder BAP when I reviewed it. I don't think we saw Fielder BAP. I think it was only Repel from what maps I reviewed of Dallas. Will they ever review Violet? Potentially. We looked over Violet in detail with the shock, and you guys can check that out. Yeah. Let's see here. So, is it Volskaya? Is this the Ana game here?
Ready for battle.
So how much Ana do we have here? Is this just double bubble the whole time? Righto. Alright. So what are the fundamentals of Ana and double bubble? Well, they're pretty simple. But they're pretty important.
2, 1.
Hit your shots, obviously.
Defend objective A.
Pocket your monkey as much as you possibly can. Synchronize your cooldown pressure, right? So the big one is nade. When your monkey goes in, you look for a nade. Either immediately as he goes in, immediately before he goes in, or immediately after he goes in. But no other time unless you're like 100% certain your monkey's not going to go in. In other words, you don't throw a nade and say, okay, monkey either naded, you can jump now. By that point, the nade is already expired and then the timing is all off. So you can either use your monkey, your nade as you go in, because it will hit the backline who you're looking to kill with your monkey, or you can do it immediately afterwards. Now, the interesting kind of dynamic here is that most of the time, the only thing that you have to worry about, this neck muscle, so the only thing you have to worry about is the enemy Zarya's personal bubble. So you actually want to generally avoid nading the enemy Zarya and instead nade the enemy Ana or Brig, because she will likely be using her projected on her own monkey, so she has no way of purging her own Ana or Brig most of the time. It's very important. Chance, I like doing scouting reports more in terms of the value that they give, but I hate the amount of work that goes into them. So it's a love-hate for sure. So you want to, like, for example, if we get a nade on Happy or a nade on Crimso or in Juby, unless Piggy just doesn't bubble his monkey, those guys are dead. Those guys have a potential to be dead, at least, if Don gets a good jump, Tuna gets a good pincer, right? So that's generally where you're looking to nade. Brig or Ana, sometimes McCree. In terms of Sleep Dart, that's generally used against enemy tracers and McCree, Winston's post dive. So as soon as that Zarya bubble wears off, try and get a sleep on that monkey. Save it for primal. If there's no primal on the board, you could definitely fish for it and try and land it on Dante, because if you do sleep Dante, he is dead. Generally don't look for sleeps in backline, but that is something you can fish for occasionally between fights. Nano is almost 100% of the time going to go on your monkey. Sometimes it'll go in Zarya. Sometimes we've seen it go on Tracers or McCree's, but generally not as much. And that's mostly it. Positional is just about trying to avoid the landing damage of the monkey dive, right? As the monkey dives, you need to be kiting or moving towards cover. Survive the dive with armor packs / your brig is armor packing you. You are healing your brig. And then surviving off of Inspire, and then you can sleep the monkey if he overstays his welcome. Sometimes we see some Anas will look for a sleep dart really early in dive. In other words, Jengu will jump in, and before he even gets Zarya Bubble, maybe Kaan throws a sleep dart and catches it right before Zarya Bubble lands, and that's a big play, but it's a very, very high risk, because if you mess it up or the Zarya Bubble comes in time, then that monkey can just stay forever on you. And it's not just a kill threat, right? Because the monkey diving it's not just a kill threat, it's the fact that he's just taking so much attention and time and threat and pressure, and you're not able to do anything, right? Whereas if you hold a sleep dart in your back pocket, that monkey jumps in with double bubble and he's like, oh shoot, where's that sleep dart coming in? And he might have to leave, right? And Nano fight, I like to use bubble defensively. I would say in Nano fights, I think that's just as important to bubble your monkey though. Because you're thinking, oh, well, my monkey's not going to be under a lot of pressure because he has Nano. He'll be fine. Yeah, but if he gets slept, then the value of your Nano is gone. So I think you need to kind of all in there and put the resources on that Nano to make sure it really, really works out. So I do think you should still be projected bubbling your monkey, even if he does have Nano. Because then if he gets slept, then there's your whole ultimate wasted. Not only is his pressure down, he's also wasting an ultimate. Keep sleeps for Tracer or monkey. Yep. Post bubble. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at this. So that's kind of my expectations. We haven't talked a lot about double bubble before. But here's our chance now. The McCree is an interesting dynamic. It doesn't affect our Ana play too much outside of making sure that we're playing near cover, because there obviously is a hit scan threat. This is a set nade, I assume. Let's try. I assume it's going to be landing probably around here. Yeah. Hey, almost perfectly. Nice. So that's pretty standard for, like, I mean, generally, yeah, Zarya's and Kreese can stand here. And the reason you're like, hey, if I can nade that Zarya, you're not going to kill the Zarya, but maybe you can force her off of high ground, so that gives you a little bit of space. Okay, let's check this out now. There was a lot of shots on Zarya there. They must really wanted that Zarya down, but that was a little bit of charge fed. And there's the enemy nade. We see that from Crimso. That's exactly what you need to be looking for. And to be honest, that is partially Neptuno's fault. So Neptuno needs to be looking for this and trying to block this whenever possible. We saw FD God really struggle with this, right? Really struggle with blocking nades. So it's very easy to get distracted by this, but ultimately, if you look at this from Neptuno's standpoint, what is he really going to do? This monkey has a bubble. You're not proccing your Inspire, you're not doing any damage, you're not booping, right? Meanwhile, look at the nade. Goes right past him. And now he's dead. Not only is this damage to him, but it's also to his Ana, and then he dies as a result. So that's actually a really, 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 really important mistake that Brigs have to be looking out for on double bubble mirrors, is you need to be looking for and blocking nade, because your team just doesn't have an option for it. Elivote can't consistently save bubble for you. He needs to bubble his monkey in, nor can he consistently body block with personal. He often needs to play a little bit more aggressively. So there's your little tidbit of micro that from your Brig play.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
You'll probably see a fish for a sleep here pretty quickly here. Okay, so no. So he's going to try and save sleep just in case that monkey tries to overextend and chase. So they were down too many for him to even fish for sleep dart. That was used entirely defensively. All right, the Ashe swap is interesting. It's, hey, you're running Kree, so we're going to run a slightly superior ranged hero, and Unigod's confident on his Ashe, and even though we might not have a lot of space, we still have a pretty good long sightline, so that's fine. I'm not sure. I don't think it's a big deal. So you're thinking, okay, are we going to look for a nade here? Probably. It's probably going to be aiming for like this back wall here. And again, even if we don't get the kill here, it's a lot of pressure on Crimso. He probably has to back away. Maybe not. Maybe we're only going defensive here because we don't have map control. In other words, their dives are more scary to us because we're going through a choke, so we save nade for ourselves, not even to nade the enemy team. And that's understandable. Oh, or we just do that. And this is what we talked about, right? So we look at Piggy here. There's your bubble. There's your bubble. And Jangu's very close still. So he can be punished post bubbles with Sleep Dart. There's no monkey bubble. There's no Zarya bubble. Tracer's a little bit out of the equation here. Is it an aggressive play? Mm-hmm. But there's a chance that this works. And that's a lot of pressure. Now, I'm actually more concerned about being counter-naded here. So where's Crimzo's nade? Oh, he didn't have it yet. Where was his nade? Oh, he just chunked it. He missed it. Because if Crimzo has nade here, it's over. Like, it's over. Like, bye, you know, like, it's over. It's just done for Paris there. But, okay. They get lucky. Poggers. He's looking for Nano, and he can smell it. Oh, Dawn. Oh, no. So Dawn goes in a little too aggressively here. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he just missed the Nano? But Dawn gets annihilated. So you'll probably see Paris just chill in here and wait for Dawn to come back. I don't think Houston can push them in here. Right? This is what we call fishing, right? Where there's clearly no actual threat right now. Dawn is basically back. We have great cover. We can see the enemy team is mostly very far away. We're probably going to have Sleep Dart by the time the fight actually starts again. So you might as well go for this. And maybe even, heck, you know, throw a nade up here. Maybe you force Piggy's bubble and maybe Crimzo nade, right? You force some cooldown so that they're not able to dive you. It's a very, very cheap cooldown trade. And it puts a little bit of pressure. Yeah, so there's the nade. He misses the nade, actually. That's unfortunate. And there's the nano. And you look at his cooldowns, right? This is very important. He used them very early in the fight, before the fight even really started, and now he has them again. That's important.
It's just a scratch.
Really quick here, do you notice this head movement here? What is he doing right here, chat? Look at this right here. Naded. Right there. What's he doing?
You'll be fine.
What is he doing? Head hitbox manipulation? No. Think carefully. Running? Nope. Nope. He's checking for Tracer. He's checking for Tracer. He just got naded. What do you think the enemy Tracer is going to likely to do at that point in time? Now, he doesn't know where Tracer is right now. He has no idea. So he gets naded, and it's a quick check, because if there's a Tracer here, he instantly has to sleeper, or he's dead. Well, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. He's checking for Tracer. Tracer can also come from here. He's checking for Tracer, and he's checking the status of Oni God and whether he's been naded or not. He misses that sleep, and that's really unfortunate. Notice the patience with the nade, right? No need to nade this. I'm fine. I'm all right. And Jangu kind of chunks it, honestly. So either looking for Tracer or checking the status of his Ashe, or both. That missed Sleep Dart was a little bit frustrating, though. That should not happen. Good positioning, though. Very passive, conservative, smart, kiting aggression relatively well. Now, I don't want to see him drop, though. There's a nade, but it doesn't matter because rally. Oh, he's dead. He's just instantly dead. So that's a little bit on Ellie votes. Nice sleep. He needs to not position that aggressively with Grav on the table. Oh dear. So they get out. Cheers, Anima.
I need healing.
So we're probably going to see Nano Monkey here and a nade. So probably Nano Monkey and probably a nade in this back corner simultaneously. Save Sleep Dart for the enemy counter push, although they might nano their monkey back. So let's see what happens. Now, interesting that he's positioning here. Is that for better LOS on his monkey? Nano, probably now. Weird. So Dawn finds Happy. Alright. We're saving nade. We might see a nade at any point in time here. Ah, so maybe he's saving nade for Grav? That was a massive nade. Uh-oh, unfortunate. So yeah, he was very clearly saving nade for Grav. And you notice how we're not fishing for Sleep Dart, right? You guys are like, oh, incredible Sleep Dart from Dawn. Look at this. He just chucked a Sleep Dart and he caught it right in the edge of the brick. Oh, okay. No, because at any point in time, Jengu can go, I'm jumping on you, and he's dead. Or Tracer's coming in, I'm flanking on you, and you're dead. Right? So he's saving that cooldown as threat, right? Mostly. He needs to get off the point here. Yeah, so he needs to get off the point. Very important that he gets off the point. Avoid danger. The only thing that can happen is you get picked. Oh, dear me. He misses the nade on Dawn. That's unfortunate. Dawn might die. Reloading. Oh, dear. Oh, my. This is still losable. Big shot on the Lucio. Woo! Nice sleep. Nano probably on Suna or Onigod, one or the other. Okay, just to save a life there. That's actually pretty interesting there. He actually nanos to, he doesn't nano, he had a couple seconds there to nano if he'd wanted to, and he did not nano. He in fact saves his nano as a life-saving tool, and I think that's pretty big brain. For the same reasoning why you would not position on point, yes, you can get value here, but you're at such a huge advantage because it's 2 CP, you have everybody on point, you're winning the fight. Why throw it? Why not just save it just in case something really bad happens? Right? Why not position just a little more defensively just in case something really bad happens? And that's what he does with his nano as well. Normally you don't nano defensively all the time. But when you have a huge advantage, why nano aggressively? Just wait for something bad to happen, like, uh-oh, they landed a pulse. No, just kidding. That's completely negated. So that's pretty smart. I like that. Okay. Looks pretty solid. Where's the handsome gentleman? Yeah, y'all are just screamingly funny. Florida scouting report win. Maybe when we come back. So I very publicly, well, not very publicly, but I've said again that like we're gonna be taking next week off. I need a break. There was like another, 14, 15 hours over the week, yesterday, today, and the day before. So we're gonna be taking a break from scouting reports for a little bit, and then we will come back, and maybe we'll do Florida then. But we'll see. All right, take care of myself. You know, if y'all just sent me thousands and thousands of dollars, I'd be in so much better shape. Here comes an aid. Oof, succulent. Very nice. I also think that if you have your brig with you in defensive situations, so okay, actually Neptuno's not with him, so that's pretty interesting. But if Neptuno were up here, I do think that Kaan should be fishing for sleep darts. In other words, he should be looking for sleep darts on the choke, like not saving it from enemy monkey. Why? Why do you guys think? Don't try? Nice try? What do you mean? PayPal. Your entire life savings. You can make minimum wage. You barely afford groceries. I don't care. Map control, exactly. There's just no way that he's gonna die to a monkey dive when he's on high ground and has a brig with him. Even if the tracer joins in. Armor pack, whip shot, inspire, you're gonna be fine. Right? So you might as well fish for value here and see what happens. Now, I'm hesitating because his brig isn't with him, so I'm like, maybe he does need to save sleep. Let's see what he thinks. We might see a sleep dart here, though. We're not going to. We might see a nade again here, probably will. Like, there's sometimes when you're like, okay, is it perfectly timed? Maybe not. Like, maybe Dawn isn't really in a position to push, but holy cow, nading this would be so fat. Like, sometimes you just gotta do it. Like, and it's well timed. Just love it. I love it. Brilliant. There's just no way that Ellie Vote and Suna should be dying, but I'm not gonna bother to look away. Again, fishing for sleep. Janggu has down cooldowns. We still have positional advantage. He'll probably nade himself here, actually. Oh, he messed up. He was like, I don't want to nade myself. I don't want to nade myself. And then he got shot a little bit. So somehow, looks like Suna and Ellie Vote died. Ooh, bye Dante.
I need healing. So got some news.
Latuna's like, bro. But this is really important. This is really important. Hey, Dragonfly. Why would you not nade this? Besides the fact that it'd be probably pretty telegraphed. Internet looking good so far. So far. There's no follow-up, exactly. And I'm feeling as if Outlaws might actually do something relatively soon. So maybe you could fit, and the other thing is too is you already have your ult as well. So it's not even like you're building ult charge. You're just not doing anything. Right? So see, I don't agree with that, Nate. I disagree with that, Nate, because I think there's a situation where there might be actual follow-up here. Like maybe you could nade Juby and Suna can follow up on it, but I strongly disagree with that, Nate. Especially considering we already have Nano, so there's no value in fishing for ult charge when we already have the ultimate, right? Nothing good can really come from that. So there's aggressive nade. He doesn't hit it. What happens with that nade, actually? It looked pretty close, so why didn't it hit? Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Blocked by personal bubble. Very fortunate from Piggy. Otherwise, that would have been a second later, and that would have been a kill from Crimso. It's actually kind of funny because this is actually a mistake from Piggy. Piggy should not be personal bubbling this early because he needs to wait until he actually takes some significant damage, probably to around 250 HP, and then personal bubble afterwards to kite it out better. But he accidentally, or whatever, he makes a mistake and he bubbles early, and it actually indirectly ends up saving Crimso's life because this nade definitely hits Crimso if he nades later. Yeah, so now Kaan's in a little bit of a risk here because remember what we talked about Ana positioning versus Nano Monkey? You do not want to be landed on by Monkey. That's the one issue here, is maybe we get a little greedy with our peak. We stay a little too long for that nade, and that means bang, direct impact. And look at Kaan's HP. He's already under 100 HP. So a little concerning. I hope Neptuno has armor packs. We do have at least one. And you see we had to go for the early sleep. Like we didn't have any time to waste her. Oh no, Neptuno woke him up. Neptuno! Was it a bad wake up or a good wake up? Yeah, that was a little late. Probably won't get punished for it. Probably. But that was awful close. Suna gets punished. Woohoo. Sees an opportunity, goes for it. They nail Dante. Man, Onigod is way out there. We missed the nade just barely on these guys. And there's that early sleep dart, right? Now, I think this is actually a mistake, given the fact that he has Primal, but I mean, he's Primal and he doesn't have Bubble. I think you need to trust your Brig, and you need to not, because now Janggu can press Q now, and Kaan is screwed. He's actually not going to. That was a very scary couple of minutes for Paris, though. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no, what happens to Neptuno? Oh no! All right, and then again, our nade gets body blocked again by Piggy. Clonk. And it doesn't hit Piggy while he's grabbed. And it doesn't hit Don. Piggy! Holy cow, these personal bubbles, man. Brutal. Piggy's now blocking nades without even looking. He's like, look, Ma, no hands, you know? Holy moly. Because if that nade hits, Don might survive, Piggy definitely dies, and Elliot probably survives. And now Elliot's probably dead. Ah, we dropped there. Did we need to drop? Yeah, probably. He was avoiding basically the angry awoken monkey. Yikes, man. That sucks. Yeah, Oniga didn't do a whole lot on the Asher. Looks like he struggled to get some value.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Hey! Cheese addict. Cheese addict. Thank you so much for the sub, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. Oh my gosh, the right click from Zarya, and then that. Brutal. Oh. So he got a nasty chart. He got a right click from Zarya. Literally as. Let's watch this at 0.25. So he's actually taking a little damage there. I'm not sure if that was from a previous Zarya right click or what. But watch this. Boom, zoom. And he doesn't even get a chance to nade himself. Wow. And that's brutal without nano. So big screw up from Kaan. Kaan actually single-handedly throws that fight. Wow. That's something you don't see every day. Kaan chunked that. So Kaan gets killed and Don killed, and they lose the high ground and they lose the point. That one was all Kaan's fault. Not something that we say every day. Chat, do we see, is there any Zen comps? Do these guys play any Zen comps, Paris? Because I'd like to see a little bit of Zen if we have it. And then, what should Kaan have done differently there? So he didn't need to peek quite, like he needed to be a little more decisive with that peek, so let's look at it again. Oh, that's a little too far. It's also a little too far. Still not there. Oh my gosh, it's so fast. So let's look at it again. I mean, it's, the margin is razor thin here, right? So he's peeking the heal Dawn. There's the heal on Dawn. I mean, probably just doing a better job of tracking Tracer positioning here. This is not necessarily all Kaan's fault, but you know, doing a better job of like tracking Tracer positioning, a little bit more awareness. Like there was a time where we could have heard blinks across from high ground here. We could have 180'd. We know that this flank is not a threat to us because we have bodies between us and ourselves. But something that probably would have been a little better to be aware of. Also, Kaan has to be very careful about peeking this even without Tracer, because with Piggy has Grav, Piggy is going to yeet Grav right here and he's going to catch Kaan and Kaan's dead. So Kaan, even without Tracer, needs to be very careful about peeking aggressively like this. And needs to be very quick, very efficient with his peeks. But yeah. But it's brutal. It's razor thin margins there. That's a very tough thing to play around. Mostly unlucky. Have we done Ask Spilo yet? No, that will be later. I say later.
I need healing. You're covered.
I mean, actually, chat, maybe we could have had Neptuno like position better there, because you're talking about like you don't want both supports grabbed, absolutely, but we could have had them split slightly without being that far apart. I'm not sure. There's a couple of different ways. It's just up to what Paris would have wanted. Man, let's look at this again. But if you guys get any Zen maps, let me know. So Kaan's gonna try and rotate. He's gonna aggressively nade that. Neptuno gets a little split. Is that the melee is that the reload cancel? It looks like it. Is that the reload cancel? That's gotta be the reload cancel, right? Does that actually save that much time? Like once the melee animation ends? It doesn't do it there.
60 seconds.
Nice sleep. Again, he's kind of fishing here. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna get punished for not having this. I trust my brig. I hope this rotation will be safe. It's pretty greedy committing both cooldowns here, but you know, if you have a brig that's gonna save an armor pack for you, you can get away with it. It's 30 extra damage potentially. Y'all are killing me. Again, you see that there? He's be very careful about like forgetting Tracer, right? Notice he's constantly moving, right? As soon as he stops, he gets punished. Uh-oh. Nano, 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 nano. Now here, I would actually... Okay, we may not even need nano, but this is a situation here where I'd almost nano a McCree or a Tracer instead. If your monkey doesn't have bubble, it's not always good to nano, because he's going to get shut down by whip shot or sleep dart too easily. So something to kind of keep in mind. Fishing again there. He needs to be very careful about his positioning. That's really bad. What happens? Uh-oh. I didn't see this game. Thank you, Padawi. I don't know if I can 0.25 it. Now, I'm gonna be honest.
Here you go.
Go to sleep.
Is that a feed chat or is that unlucky?
30 seconds. Your power down. Get in there with it.
Please tell me they don't lose this. They lost this. You're absolutely... So Kaan's positioning there is probably a little too aggressive. Does he even catch Crimzo with... He does catch Crimzo with an A, but he gets caught a little too aggressive. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, the Kaan kind of feeds to this position a little bit there. Oh, it's a feed. Oh, it's definitely a feed. Because the thing is this, is Tracer, does Tracer pressure backline? Yes, but when does Tracer pressure backline? When your team is in a position to follow up or distract, right? If we could be spamming them, but like look at what our team is doing and look at what their team is doing. What are we doing right now? We're not going in. Like even Dawn jumping here is a feat. Now maybe Dawn baited Suna, but here's my point, chat. Going in at all is a feat, unless you're literally have your whole backline pushing up to here with you guys. In which case, hey, forcing projected bubble and sleep dart and forcing them all to turn around on your Tracer might actually not be terrible value. Getting slept and killed by your own pulse bomb, that sucks, but you would have gotten something out of it. But there's no punishment here. Look at the field. Where's my blue? So this is a feed by Tsuna or a feed by Dawn. Somebody's baiting somebody here. This is a troll from Paris. Hard troll. And they lose this. Unbelievable to me. Ah, gosh, man. Fundamentals, guys. Fundamentals. Yeah, if you're not willing to take a fight at 6, then you should not be doing anything. Timing is everything, y'all. All right. Let's see what our defense looks like.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Oh, he gets greedy. He gets greedy, and I still find it interesting to note that Neptuno isn't with him. And that's fine, but that to me, that means that he needs to be a little less greedy with both of his cooldowns. So he has to be careful. I would probably retake high ground here. They shouldn't be staying here, I don't think. Oh man, again, just clipped. Yeah, that's not a good play from Neptuno, nor is it good play from Kaan. And that's it. That's it right there. Okay. So Ana looked okay. Could have been a little cleaner in some aspects for sure. Let's see here. Mayhem versus Eternal, Blizzard World Attack. You guys said we saw some Zen? To VOD review? Is it a pro or individual VOD review? Individual? Probably, yeah. That's probably more than necessary. I like at least 50 minutes, but more than that's probably not really necessary. All right, let's do some Zen chat, and then we'll finish up this Kaan review. No, I said that I wasn't going to do a scouting report on Paris, but actually, chat, I've reevaluated that because somebody brought up a point to me. And this is something I've been putting in my scouting reports, that the scouting reports are more useful for the team that you're coaching than they are for the teams that are playing up against it. The nature of Overwatch is that it's difficult to actually get quality scouting information and use it against your opponent. It's more valuable for you to see the scouting information on yourself and fix your own errors. In other words, if I know that Neptuno wastes armor packs on tanks, as a team playing up against the Paris Eternal, you can't really punish that very hard. You can say, hey, okay, well, our flankers will more likely win the wars, but you're not going to fundamentally change your play style, right? It's basically the same thing you're going to do. You're not going to change anything. It doesn't give you a whole lot of impact. So my scouting reports did, I hope, provided value for teams that were playing against these teams, but it's not a lot of value. It's only a little bit. Now, if you are the Paris Eternal, and you do see a scouting report that, Neptuno, or I guess Dredro now, wastes armor packs on tanks too much and needs to work in flankers, that is valuable for you because you can, as Dredro, as Neptuno, can go fix that right now. So I have reevaluated my stance because I said that I was not going to do a scouting report on the London Spitfire, but then I was told by someone that you should do a scouting report. If you care about the London Spitfire, you should do a scouting report on them and see they will get something out of it. And so now I'm reevaluating my stance. So even though this isn't really a scouting report on the Paris Eternal, hopefully maybe Kaan finds this and adjusts a couple things. Or maybe Kaan goes, well, no, actually I did this because of this, right? I'm not expecting everything I say is gospel, but I think there's actual value from this. So, yeah. So I said Paris and Boston initially, but I'm reevaluating my my stance on the thing. Because I'm finding these scouting reports are interestingly more valuable on the actual teams I'm coaching. So, okay, so let's talk about Zenbrig here, because this is a Zenbrig mirror. This is one of the, okay, so chat, you want something that's going to bring your tear to your eye? Okay, so I was kind of already on the road to flanks and angles are what matters, right, as time went along. I think one of my big inspirations for my stances on things was Coach Mineral with the Boston Uprising. And I know that he doesn't have the greatest track record with them, but he was a very intelligent individual. I think he knew his stuff. And even if he struggled to find results with it with Boston. And one of the things he always talked about was like the importance of angles and stuff, right? Now, I kind of took that and kind of internalized that and thought about that over a while. Mineral I think would be a great assistant coach. I'm glad he's in a manager position. I think he's a very smart individual and a good communicator, just maybe not the leadership. Okay. So I kind of internalized that, and then I worked with Sheer Cold for a while, and we played during Zenbrig meta towards the end. And I remember coaching Zenyatta. I think it might have been Looser. I think I might have been reviewing Looser over at Sheer Cold. And that was like my epiphany for me, for like map control. Because I realized that no matter how many right clicks Looser threw at a Sigma Shield, or how many right clicks he threw at his Zenyatta and maybe killed one clip to Zenyatta from across the map, like 1 out of every 100 times, we weren't winning fights. because we weren't discording their tracer and harmonying our ball, and we were losing the flanks. We're getting good spam pressure on the enemies way over there, but nothing was actually happening. We're still losing because our ball is losing the duel because he's not getting resources, and our tracer is losing the duel, and our echo is losing the duel. So I was like, all right, Lucer, I want you to pocket your echo, pocket your tracer, pocket your ball, win this flank over here, win this flank over there, and then we win, and then we'd start winning fights as a result. And so that ultimately is kind of like what sparked me to go, you guys make fun of me for the angles and the timing and positioning. The positioning side of that came greatly from the Zen Brig meta. That was like when I really solidified my opinions on it. So with this composition, this really kind of is very similar to what I kind of grew up with my philosophy on Overwatch in terms of controlling the map. So for Kaan, Orb needs to be on Naga, it needs to be on Dawn, it needs to be on Onigod, or whoever is doing something, specifically whoever's fighting on the flanks, because if you can win the flank, if OG loses to Dawn, Dawn is able to dive backline, and OG's not able to dive Kaan. So it's not only an offensive move to allow your flankers to be able to beat their flankers and then dive the enemy backline, it's a defensive move by preventing the enemy mayhem from being able to dive you. The fights are won almost off screen, and Harmony and Discord are the best support cooldowns in the game at winning duels. I would rather have a Harmony and a Discord on me than I would have a Moira Orb or an Ana Pocket or even a Mercy Beam. It's stronger. So that's Orb whoever's taking damage, right? Or whoever's doing something, prioritize the people who are doing it on the angles, right? So like what we don't want to see is permanent Harmony on a Zarya or just spamming endlessly at the enemy team. If you get an opportunity to stop what you're doing and shoot ball or shoot tracer or shoot an aggressive Ashe, that's your priority, right? So like Naga gets Harmony Orb there, maybe he runs into Yaki, and that slight advantage gives him an advantage right here. I don't like Elliot's positioning at all. I'm not sure why he's this far split, at least this early. Yeah, so they definitely look pretty sloppy in this comp in terms of timing and rotations and such. But I've not seen anything particularly wrong from Kaan's side of things. Interestingly, he charged a right click there with a... Wow. I was gonna say, interesting they charge a right click there with a target right in front of them. So like, I'd say like right here, this was a little odd right here. Huge. Right here. This charging up here was bizarre. I understand that he's only got one bullet left. Maybe he's that aware that he realized he only has one bullet left. Because remember, even if you all have one ammo, you can charge up a full right click. Because normally it consumes 5, but he could have. But I think I would gamble for the single headshot here. If that, chuck the Discord and go for the headshot. Because if it's a discorded or an undiscorded headshot, BQB is going to die. But he gets the yoinkies. So his Harmony Orb isn't doing anything right now. Holy smokes! So he needs to quickly transition it to a flanker if possible. Yeah, he needs to rotate as well, so he needs to get LOS. So Kaan basically just single-handedly carries that with 3 kills. Like he just mechanically popped off there. Like his Paris looked completely just pretty messy on that execution. But wow, that was nice. Okay, there's the Orb on Naga. So this is where you're fishing for right clicks because there's nothing else to do, but as soon as you get the opportunity, pressure this chick, pressure him, pressure this dude, you know what I'm saying? Quickly as you can. You see that? He needs to get LOS onto this if he possibly can without peeking on main. Right there. You see that? Very important. Heck, even just throwing a couple shots down there. Maybe he hits Yaki. He just hit Yaki with one. That's actually pretty big. Because now look what Yaki has to do. Hey, heal me. You know? That's a lot of pressure off of his team. You know? Now, looks like Naga dies there anyway. Unfortunate. But that's what you want to do. Like, just one body shot on a Tracer means so much more than a couple of body shots onto a Gargoyle. You know? Twice as much damage to Gargoyle means half as much. You know? doesn't re-peek that. Headshot's too dangerous. At least not right away, anyway. And Ellie seems a little sloppy with his positioning. Cart seems to be forgotten. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought Cart was back. I'm an idiot. I thought Cart was back there. No, my Cart is there. Look at the patience of the trance. Look at the patience. Look at that. Look at the patience of the trance. Now, as long as Ellie stays high ground here, I would probably bet the farm that Mayhem loses, that Eternal wins this. As long as Ellie stays high ground, I would assume that they win this. I'm sorry, what's going on? Where are we at? Did he just not grab the health pack? He just didn't grab the health pack. So what happens to Dawn? Oh man, that's a shame. They had such a huge advantage here. Shame. Cringe, bro. Are they spamming healing to ask for his orb going aggressive? Yeah, they're asking for resources, but they didn't track the backline positioning, so it got really messy. Yeah, that was messy from the flankers of Eternal. I think Kaan played that one very well. So Kaan Zin is actually looking pretty good. Mechanics were looking pretty good. The Harmony Discord, the positioning, the trance. So hopefully we get to see more. And you notice again, like how Elliott's technically taking damage here, right? But he's still going to Harmony Orb his Ball, because Ball is more likely to get value out of this and or need value out of this right now. I'm a little surprised at the lack of high ground push. Like this angle here is really good for pocketing Cart pressure, but I don't think Cart is needed to be pushed anymore right now. In other words, you can Harmony Orb. Oh, mate! No, you can Harmony Orb and assist Cart pressure here, but Cart is already advanced enough. I don't think it matters. I think maybe a little bit here, but I want to see them go push high ground again. And, you know, look for a bob across to here, maybe a bob to here, and reclaim high ground again, right? High ground is so important in this mirror. So important. In fact, that was one of my big issues with London Spitfire, was their poor control. Okay, there we go. They go high ground. But Naga is dead again. I'm going to resist the temptation to find out why. But you really should not be dying there. Shouldn't happen. Okay, there's the Orb on Tracer. They're going to try the other rotation, but I don't think that's necessary. This rotation scares me. All right, they made it. Yeah, all right, they made it. Just dirty, man. Great shots. Okay, they push this. They've done really poorly with their ult game. Get rid of that ball and you can push. All right, you can push now. Oh no, they gave up high ground! That's unfortunate, because you're thinking here, now we can rally and we can push out aggressively, and Gargoyle's dead, and we can pocket what's on point. Instead, we go right to point, and that's not the play. And now, guess who dies? Because he's split from the backline. Like, Onigod is kind of feeding here, but also, really, Onigod should be supported here. Brigand's Inn should be here. I don't know why Onigod is by himself. And I don't know how much responsibility Kaan gets for rotational calls. I do know Neptuno was a very vocal player when it came to backline rotations, but this is a mistake from Paris. And Kaan shares at least some of the blame here. It's astonishing me to how many teams in Overwatch League I see end up like this, when this is literally worst case, last case scenario in terms of backline positioning. And they're not going to win this. Both support ults look like Pulse and Mines, and you're going to lose to a Grav Pulse. Yeah, where's my rally? Right, exactly. You can hear the Tracer. Okay, we do get high ground. Oh no, we're knocked off. So this is a situation where you might not see a high ground rotation. It's overtime, and we got knocked off. So this is where we might have Brig and Zen drop, and it's not a feed because it's the only option available, right? Elevote really needs to build this grab, and we really need a good grab pulse. It's the only way they win this fight.
Fire at will.
And they don't get it. And that should be it right there. Do we play any more Zen, or is it only on attack? Yeah, it's understandable. Their Briggs in did not look very good. Okay, so here's what I would rank Kaan at. I know Kaan. I know he's a great player, and I would say he looks solid at the Overwatch League level. Does not look to be a liability by any means. I think lamp play, shift usage, and ult usage could have been a little cleaner. Maybe his weapon play as well. I think his BAP wasn't on the same level that his Ana and Zen is. Could use a little bit of cleaning up. His Zen was fine, I think. His Zen looked good. Ana looked pretty good as well. Maybe a little more awareness of like some minor things with Ana, but overall looks to be a solid player. Maybe not the superstar that we're being led to say, although my sample size is relatively small. But still certainly looked to be a good, solid player, and certainly not a weak point for that team whatsoever. What do you guys think? What do you guys...